Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. For Seekers of God. Spiritual Talks of Mahapurush Swami Shivananda. Part 1, Chapter 4. Dry Periods in Spiritual Life. Tenacity, japa and constant remembrance of the law, self-control and discrimination. Place: Belur Monastery. Time: Saturday, September 1923. Swami Shivananda was seated in his room at the monastery at Belur, his face beaming with spiritual fervor, his eyes radiating love and compassion. There was profound peace in the room. Since it was Saturday, several devotees came from Calcutta for a visit. Most of them were young men working in offices who made it a custom to avail themselves of every holiday to come to the monastery to see Mahapurush Ji and listen to him. From his precious words of wisdom they drew much inspiration. That day the conversation turned upon spiritual practice. A devotee said, "Maharaj, on some days I enjoy my meditation, but on other days I do not. What accounts for this?" The Swami replied, "Yes, truly it happens like this. For some days we enjoy meditation, but other days come when we do not. In the initial stage, all aspirants have to go through this experience, but one should not stop practice for that reason. Did not the Master speak of the hereditary farmer? Even as he sticks to the family profession, so you must stick to your spiritual practice. And in trying periods, pray fervently to the Lord. Say, Lord, we are in the world. We are weak and devoid of spiritual discipline and practice. We have neither time nor energy. We have none else to call our own. Do thou graciously set our mind right, that we may call upon thee properly, feeble as we are. Unless thou givest strength, how shall we think of thee? Pray to God thus, my boy. Prayer, earnest prayer, is what is necessary. Cry to Him. As you pray, then He will be gracious and respond. Don't you remember how the Master used to pray to the mother? He would rub his face on the ground, crying, "Another day of this life is gone, and I have not seen thee." How ardently did Sri Chaitanya say, "O Lord, I find no joy in repeating the name." Crying thus, he too would rub his face on the grass. One should take the name of the Lord in this way with great earnestness. His name, my child, is the very essence. Repeating it brings strength to one's heart. Never forget to repeat His name and pray to Him constantly. Devotee, can one take His name always, as for instance while walking? Swami, certainly japa is not bound by temporal considerations. You can repeat God's name whenever you find time. While walking, repeat it mentally. You cannot then count the repetition on your fingers or rosary without being conspicuous. The repetition of the Lord's name must be practiced very secretly so that no one knows anything about it. Practice constant recollection and contemplation of God. One has to form the habit. Remember and think of Him continually while walking, eating, lying down, and even when you are actively busy. Let it be as if an undercurrent is all the time flowing. Let it be as if an undercurrent is all the time flowing. If you practice in this manner for a while, remembrance and contemplation of Him will go on unconsciously within you. You will be repeating His name even while asleep. Devotee. It is so hard to control the mind. Sometimes when I am telling my beads, uttering His name orally, my mind wanders here and there, indulging in ideas I never before thought of. Swami, that is true. The rascal mind causes all the trouble. You must control this mind, or it will take you here and there. However, sincere efforts will bring self-control. When disciplined, this wicked mind behaves right. It functions as the Guru, repeats God's name, guides the aspirant along righteous ways, and gives them inspiration in noble undertakings. Practice self-control constantly. Pray sincerely to the Lord and discriminate between the real and the unreal, my child. Self-control cannot be accomplished in a day. Rightly has the Lord said in the Gita, "Doubtless, O mighty aunt, the mind is restless and difficult to control. But, O son of Kunti, through practice and dispassion, it can be conquered." Practice, continual practice and discrimination are what is needed. God alone is the one eternal substance, the abiding reality. It is necessary to be fully convinced of this in one's heart. As the conversation progressed, Swami Shivananda gradually became indrawn. Very soon he fell silent with eyes closed in meditation. After remaining a while, one by one, the devotees started leaving for devotions in the chapel or on the bank of the Ganga. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. End of chapter 4.